Hello.
Hello. You've had one glass of Prosecco.
Oh, dear me. Anyway.
Welcome to Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas on Also Driven. Merry Christmas. We've got Christmas lights even in the back of
really
the Alpine.
Don't show up very well.
They don't show well, you know.
Anyway,
today, in this exciting instalment of Also Driven, you join us in the Alpine once again. It is heading off. It has been with us for quite a short time, and it is heading off via Southampton.
Yeah, day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow?
Yes, heading to the new world. Heading to the new world.
It's Christopher Columbus.
Yes.
In the Alpine world.
Yeah, although I'm really quite glad that we bought an Alpine and not an Alpine S. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's okay if you say Alpine. Alpine S is fine.
Alpine S.
Alpinus. Yes.
Alpine.
Welcome to our Alpine S. Making videos after alcohol. Okay, so recently I did a economy challenge with the Alpine, which Sean will now intersperse into Intersperse. It's a word. I don't care.
It's a word. Apparently so.
Into the video. We are in the Alpine. No, Sean, because I'm driving to Scotland today, and we're going to try an interesting experiment. What sort of fuel consumption does the Alpine do if you don't rag it? That's a nice round figure. Okay, the resetting of the trip meter. Right. Okay. No. Okay, we'll go with this one. Press and hold. Looks like it's resetting. There we go. And we have reset. Just over 400 kilometers and not quite half a tank of fuel used yet. Motorway service stations, M6, terribly exciting. Anyway, let's see how we get on. Nearly at the hotel. Well, we made Scotland. Okay, the new and all that. Getting low on fuel. 642 kilometers and leaving Cambridge. And we are halfway between Glasgow to Edinburgh. So let's see what the fuel consumption works out. It does say 5.8 litres. No, it doesn't. It says 5.6 litres. I need glasses. Which roughly works out around 50 to the gallon. But we'll see what it is in the real world when we fill up at the pumps. As we've got some pumps to go to.
So, what was your conclusion then? Driving it like a truck speed, which is not what the Alpine is designed to do.
No.
But bear in mind, it does only have a 1.8 litre engine. It's not like it's a 3 litre V8 or something like that.
But then again, a lot of engines now are getting smaller and smaller, and they're getting huge amounts of horsepower out of them.
Yeah.
But we managed to get 51 miles to the gallon out of it, which is really impressive for something that is not a mainstream production car.
Yes, and not designed in any way, shape or form to have economical performance.
No.
It is designed to, like, batter the Autobahn.
Yeah, and well, no, because then you're going to be at high speeds and you're going to have that really awful handling.
Essentially, when we drove this back from France, we drove it at 75 miles per hour because that's the speed limit on the motorway the entire way.
Which is where we find the handling really loses it.
It was appalling.
It's a track-focused car.
That's true, it's a track car.
Because this is the whole big thing. If you talk to anybody online, because loads of people some in the comments and some people on Twitter have kind of got really, like, well, I would say the word arsey with me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Because they say that this car was co-produced with Caterham.
Okay.
So the handling is specifically for a track and nowhere else.
Okay.
Which means that you only enjoy it if you take it. It's like the Ami. You have to take it everywhere on a trailer.
Yes.
And then just use it in its natural environment.
Yes.
Which to me just sounds pointless.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that with this. It is drivable from place to place. It's just not... It just doesn't feel right. Since we did the last video, I drove it on some B roads because up until that point, you know, when we did our first video when we really bitched about it, when we collected from France, we were basically driving on a motorway and the steering was really twitchy and we didn't particularly enjoy it. It felt quite stressful to drive. We kind of concluded at that point that, it's a B road car for the twisties.
Yeah.
So then I drove it on a couple of B roads around where I live in Cambridge. It was such a bizarre experience. It actually felt like I was driving a computer game because I accelerated really quickly up to 60 miles an hour, but then it stayed there. So I could go around corners at 60 miles an hour without having to brake, without having to do anything. You just went around the corner because the car handled so well. But my problem is that made it really boring.
Yeah.
You just like get to the speed and that's it. Because the only thing this car seems to do well is accelerate really quickly. Yes, it corners really well, obviously, because otherwise it wouldn't stick to the road. But it corners so well, it stops being engaging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is such a strange thing that I would never think I would experience. I've never got like that road I do really regularly. It's to my friend's house. And I don't think I've ever done it at 60 miles an hour the entire way. It's not normal. But this car can do it. So that's really impressive. But I've never been so bored doing it. Because I haven't had to slow down for a corner. I haven't had to accelerate up. I haven't had to kind of check where I'm doing. I haven't had to correct my steering. It was so weird. It's so numb.
This is actually a weird thing because this came up on Twitter a while back with Shimmy from Autopap from Omagato Watches. And this is all terribly pronounced. And I apologize. But he had got a Toyota Yaris GR.
Oh, yeah.
And sold it quite quickly. For what he said was very similar reasons. That in normal day-to-day driving, there was no enjoyment in it because you never got anywhere near the limits.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah. And you literally would have to be at license losing speed to get any enjoyment out of it because that's why he prefers his Volkswagen Up.
Right.
And at the time, I ripped the piss out of him for it. And now I know what he means. So yeah.
You're going to do like a public apology.
Public apology, Autopap. I am sorry. I just thought you couldn't drive properly, but no, you're quite right. You actually are quite right.
Modern sports cars are perhaps
a little bit too advanced.
Too good.
Yeah. Well, this was the problem because we sort of said this as well because again, there's all the armchair experts in the comments because I have said that the Honda S660 is a better car.
Yeah.
And numerous people on various different platforms, I'd say we have no idea what we're talking about, but that is the hill that I'm prepared to die on. That this is just far too capable, and unless you're on the track, it's just not enjoyable.
No, unless you want to lose your license immediately.
Yeah.
As a long distance cruiser, it doesn't work. As a B road kind of twisty road enjoyment car, it doesn't work. As a city car, it kind of works. Well, also it doesn't have a proper boot, so actually as a city car, it also fails. You can't really go to Tesco and get your weekly shop in it.
Unless you get them in really small bags and split it between the front and the back.
Yeah.
And I have to say the words, but fruit. Fruit. I like the fruit. I didn't want to go, mirror, mirror, mirror on the...
I know, yes.
It's so stuck in my head.
Mirror, mirror, mon amour, tell me what I'm waiting for.
I don't know.
So fine, so fine.
I lost the words after mirror, mirror.
It's mon amour, which means my love.
My love. Okay. What are we doing? It does have like already got like French issues. So the electric heated seat doesn't work. I went to the Renault dealers in Belfast and I said I needed a switch for a heated seat. And they went, oh, is it Dacia or Renault? And I went, well, it's an Alpine. And he went, oh, Dacia. And we have one last little story. When we were coming over from Ireland last night to Wales, we were in Dublin and the customs were walking around and they were checking in the cars and they were having a bit of chit chat with people. And they walked up to ours and this older guy started leaning down and went, oh, my fucking back. Oh, these fucking fancy cars. Which pretty much says it all. They're very pretty, but they're not the easiest thing in the world to live with.
No, it's a shame. I want to like it. I like it more than when we first got it.
Yeah, because the steering was just
the steering was just appalling. And the touchscreen, although it is appalling, we've kind of got used to it. And now we've got used to where to hit.
And also we didn't realise that some of the controls are controllable from the physical... The Clio 1999 Clio sticky thing.
Yeah.
That sticks out of the steering column.
That's the one.
Yeah. So you don't always have to touch the touchscreen. But again, that's kind of a cop-out because it should be so much easier to use that they don't actually have to give you physical buttons.
What we should also say is that, however, they have improved the touchscreen in the 2022 model year onwards.
That's true, Because this doesn't have CarPlay or Android Auto. No. You've got My Spin, which is a Bosch system, which is also shared with Suzuki owners, and they have this pin as well.
Yeah, and as far as we can tell... we can't connect either of our phones to it, and Jim's got an Android, I've got an iPhone, and when you go on forums, no one can connect their phone to it. So it is essentially completely pointless as a piece of technology. So there we go. That is Alpine, finished, done and dusted. It is driven away from Also Driven. Join us in the next video. Subscribe, please. It'd be lovely.
Yes.
Then we can put adverts in.
Yes, and then we can make some money.
We're not, but you know. Please subscribe, please like, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.